Delight leaders. Today we want to talk to you about how a Delight chapter functions and the different elements and aspects of the ministry on your campus. So first things first, we want to start with the heart of Delight, which is your weekly meetings or Bible study time together. This meeting should happen at the very same place and same time each and every week, unless it's Christmas break or some sort of holiday. But this should happen every week, regardless if you think people are gonna show up or people are busy or not. Consistency in ministry is huge. I promise you, if you start skipping meetings or changing it up on people, less and less people will come. But this is your time together to open up for conversation using our curriculum, which Mac will explain a little bit more about.
Yeah, you might be wondering, what are we supposed to be doing at these weekly meetings? Well, every single week at Delight, you will use one of the Delight books and talk through one of the stories from our books. So every single week in Delight, you will read the story of a college woman where she shares about something she's gone through, something she's dealt with, something she's experienced in college, and then what the Lord has taught her through that. So each story comes with daily devotionals and discussion questions and reflection questions, and you'll use the discussion questions to talk about the stories in this book. So we have awesome things like outlines that'll walk you through how to lead these discussions, but basically it's a really cool opportunity for women in your chapter to open up and to be vulnerable and to start to see the ways that God is moving in their life. So you as the leaders will facilitate this conversation, facilitate this discussion, have time to pray together as a chapter, and this is really your chance to bond and to grow and to just dig deeper in your faiths together.
This curriculum is super important. Every single girl in your Delight chapter should have a book. We promise you, like the chapters that don't participate as much in the curriculum, if they don't have the book and aren't following along, there's like crickets. Nobody knows what's happening, what they're supposed to talk about. But if people are involved in the material and using it as their daily devotional or just following along with the stories, the conversation will be so fruitful. Nobody will be able to stop talking because they're going to have so much on their heart and so much to talk about.
Yes.
So that's super important.
They're amazing.
Yes.
And then another element of Delight beyond your weekly meetings are going to be events. So every couple weeks, maybe every 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 times a semester, you're going to have outside events. So these can be things like community events. So community events would be getting everybody together to do something fun, like a movie night, a game night, a bonfire, anything fun and relaxing, just a time to get together and hang out. So that's community events. Another thing that you could do is service events, and this is a time to come together as an organization and to just serve Jesus, to be the hands and feet of Jesus out in your community. There's tons of things you can do for this. You can volunteer all together somewhere, or you can do things like write letters to women on your campus. It can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. Another type of event that you can have are worship nights. So that's just getting all the women of your chapter together and worshiping together, taking the time to stop, to pause, and to just worship Jesus, and they're so fun. All those events are amazing, and you'll definitely want to do these with your chapter because they really create community. These are the times where women are going to come and find those friends and connect and really feel like they're a part of Delight. So when they come to your weekly meetings, they're going to be that much more connected and excited about this Christ-centered community.
Yes, exactly. If you're wondering and clueless of what sort of community events or what sort of service projects to do, we actually have a really awesome resource on the resource page that gives you a few ideas, some different options, fun ones that we've seen work really, really well. And then the last aspect of Delight are what we call Delight Dates.
Delight Dates.
They
Everybody's
are
favorite.
awesome. Yes, this is where like the true friendship happens. One-on-one ministry is so important because this is your time to not only just get to know each other as friends and personally, but also to have like these more in-depth like spiritual conversations that might be centered around the story that week or how the story related to their own life or whatever it might be. But Delight Dates are so important. They build such strong community within your Delight chapter. The more Delight Dates you have, the more like prone people will be to speak up in your weekly meetings again, because they'll feel more comfortable. And also for the people that it's a little bit harder for them to get connected, the Delight dates are awesome for them, because they can walk away with like a new friend without even having to try so hard. So Delight dates are a super awesome part of Delight too. These usually happen every other week. Every week is just a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, and they're super simple. All you have to do is pair two women together. You can draw names out of a hat. You can do a spreadsheet. We have ideas for how you can organize Delight dates, but basically do these every other week. Assign people a new person to hang out with, grab coffee with. So yes, that's how Delight chapters function. There are weekly meetings using the curriculum. There's outside events like community, service, and worship nights, and then there are Delight dates. So those are the big parts of Delight, and really what make Delight what it is and will make your chapter amazing, help women to dive deep into Christ-centered community. So we will talk with you soon.